Welcome to a brand new Five Heart podcast live on a Thursday night, 9 o'clock Central on Coronation's YouTube, Facebook, and X. It's great to be back. Y'all know me, or you should, or maybe this is the first time you're stumbling across the old Coronation social media platforms. Anyway, if you don't know who I am, the face that runs the place, wish it was a better face, Greg Mahachko. The better face is over here, Minnie Hunt. And Minnie, you are on location this week. You have been busy.
I have. It has been a full work week. Yes, my dogs are tired.
The dogs be barking?
Yes.
Well, tell everybody where you've been. We all know most of them don't actually read the description.
Okay. I am in fabulous Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas, baby.
What are you doing in Sin City?
Okay, Big Ten Media Days has been here for the last 3 days. And some people are really, really excited about this, including head coach PJ Fleck.
Why is it that the first name that you...
my favorite as far as getting people pumped up. He should be like an MC.
Why is it that the first name that you mentioned isn't even a Nebraska name?
You know what? If you all were there, I promise you, I'm going to try and explain it the best I can. Okay?
Okay.
Can we just go ahead and start?
The show has begun.
Okay. We're going to jump right into it. So, Big Ten Media Days. I walk in. I'm in awe because there's Big Ten everywhere. It's my first time. And first person I see, Jerry Dinardi.
Big Ten.
Now, not being a college football fan for my entire life, like most of y'all, how did I recognize him, you ask?
Big Ten.
He did a YouTube show with Urban Meyer. And I loved him with Urban Meyer. They had like a good connection. I think it was called Urban Analysis before Urban Meyer got picked up. I think he works for ESPN now. Anyways, so I recognized him first, and I go get my credentials. I recognize several Nebraska Husker media people.
You gonna name drop, or are you just gonna say they were there?
I can name drop. One in particular that I can name drop. Andy Ketterson from Coronation.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that guy.
I know.
How about that? Small world.
It is. And I was actually talking to Steve Sipple when I call him Sip. Him and I, we're buds. No, actually, Steve Sipple is the nicest, most helpful person, knowledgeable. I know there's a lot of people who are like, oh, he just, he drones on and on. But in person, he's like the one person that helped me out the most, getting my bearings. But Andy walked by, didn't even recognize me. I'm like, Andy. So we got to hang out for 2 days, Andy and I. But you go sit down, and it's like just this big meeting hall.
It's a ballroom, right?
Yes, at Mandalay Bay Casino. It's the conference center, and they have the camera set up. They have everything set up, and they have places for the media people to sit. So Andy and I sit together. I have to tell you, I was really surprised. In between each one of the head coach's speeches, there's not clapping.
Well, no. You say there's not clapping?
Yeah, there's not.
Because it's all media. They're not fans.
Except yours truly, Matt Rhule. Oh, yeah. I'm the only one in the entire place that clapped And he looks up at me. He's like, thank you. I'm like, no problem.
Oh, you're not going to be invited back.
Oh, well, yes, I will. Yeah. It was fun.
It's like being in the press box at the stadium. You don't cheer.
No, you cheer when it's Nebraska. Like I told you guys, I was going to go there, and I had my red cover laptop with the big white N on it in the front.
Fred says Minnie probably fired off an air horn and screamed Dylan for life. Yeah, Brad says no cheering in the media section, Minnie.
Yeah, well, too bad. I did.
Let's see.
Very excited.
Melissa wants to know if you stalked Dylan.
Yes, I did. He was actually one of the first people again that I saw. And I saw that he was being monopolized by other media people. They'd stop him if he went to the bathroom, poor guy. He is, I'll just tell you all right now, we've been concerned. He is every bit as lean as he should be. He looks really good. He's ready to rock and roll.
Wade says, I never saw you or heard you on TV.
I was there actually today. So here's the other thing. I noticed at Big Ten Media Days, they didn't really take questions from the whole area. There were like 3 sections. Okay. I was seated on the far right, stage right, I guess is what it's called. And I noticed they only really took questions from stage left. So on the last day, I decided, okay, I'm moving over to stage left. Kirk Ferentz was up first this morning. And so, yeah, raised my hand and I asked him a question. So I should have been on TV for that question only, though.
Let's see. Let's see. Did you slide 2 yards short?
No, I did not. I mean, it felt like it the first day. Unfortunately, Nebraska was up the first day. They divided it into 3 days, 6 teams each day. Nebraska was on the first day. I wish Nebraska would have been on the 3rd day because, like I said, it was my very first time doing this. And being a newbie, I didn't know. Like, can I ask questions? How to get involved like that? And it's just intimidating. So I would say like my first videos, I'm standing like way far back from the podium, so there's absolutely no way I could ask a question anyways. But by the end, I'm like right there in everyone's face. So I figured it out. I got more comfortable.
We have some Kirk Ferentz questions.
Oh.
1970s Child says, did you boo Kirk Ferentz? Now, before you answer that question, Nebraska Strong says, I hope that you booed Kirk. Did you boo Kirk?
You guys, here's one thing I learned. And
if you're going to cheer, Nebraska, you got to boo Iowa. That's how.
No, I didn't. And in fact, I have the opposite effect going. I realized today, I realized yesterday actually, that these poor head coaches are just people. I mean, especially somebody like Kirk Ferentz has been put through the ringer. That guy, he started off his speech talking about how much change he's seen in the 36 years since he started at Iowa, because he had 2 stints at Iowa. And I just thought, wow. And that was kind of just the theme. You have to embrace change. So
you can't humanize the enemy. They're not people.
They were.
They are.
Even Deshaun Foster is a person.
They are abstract jackasses who get no love or respect. Great question from Fred. Minnie or I guess it's more of a statement because somebody asked, what question did you ask Kirk? And Fred says, Minnie asked Kirk why their cheerleaders are even fatter than him and Fred and Greg. That's it. I'm over here just trying to be nice, highlighting comments, keeping track of the show, and Fred's throwing me under the scale, so to speak. So thanks, Fred.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. It was a fun weekend, and honestly, my head is spinning. I feel like I lived 5 days in one day. So it's been several weeks since I last saw you guys. It feels like.
Well, it's been at least 2. We didn't do a show last week.
Oh,
Living in
that's
Omaha,
right.
David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart podcast, says, who asked Dylan about his hair?
I didn't, but it was looking extra fluffy. I did notice that. Like, I would have thought he would have trimmed it up better for Big Ten Media Days. I'm sure he did. It just looked like it needed a little more cut. Just a little.
1970s child says, I lived in worse places than Iowa City. I doubt that. Again, there's a reason that birds fly upside down over Iowa because there's nothing in Iowa we're shitting on. And there was another one here.
Dylan looked great, by the way. His suit, fantastic. Beautiful.
Yeah, I caught Hale Varsity, caught him talking about his suit. I'm like, this isn't the Hollywood red carpet. Stick to the topic. Talk about football. Nobody cares who made his suit.
These guys look so good. Every single athlete looks great. I was walking by guys, and I know you guys think I'm exaggerating. I'm not. I was walking by athletes. I swear, they must have been 8 feet tall.
No, again, you're just 3 feet tall, so everybody looks 8 feet tall.
No, they were so humongous. I'm thinking, that is a giant.
1970s child is definitely 1970s child. Minnie crushes on Dylan the way I used to crush on Valerie Bertinelli and Olivia Newton-John. Those are some classic references. I'm old enough to know who that is.
I do too. Yes.
Oh, Wade wants to know if you asked Dylan why his suit had cards inside instead of Nebraska. I know the answer. I don't know if you know the
answer. Is it because it's in Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Just guessing. I didn't know that. See, I haven't had a chance to even what's going on out there in the world. I did catch up that North Carolina is trying to make a move to the SEC, and then somebody else, Missouri, got denied moving. I forget who.
Missouri's already in the SEC.
No. Who was it that got denied? They offered money to go to, I forget. It's been a long week.
I remember bits and pieces of that, but I don't remember the specifics of
Memphis. Thank you, Aaron Rostovsky.
Wanted to go to the Big 12, I believe, and offered like $1 million as well or something.
Yes.
Or no, not $1 million. It's something about their media rights deal. That's what it was. So.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I was reading about that. That'll be interesting, seeing what is going on with the ACC. But
Fred says Dylan's suit had the tag on so he could take it back to Men's Warehouse. No, only I pull tricks like that.
Dylan looked fantastic for his Big Ten Media Days, I have to say.
$250 million, not $1 million. Thanks, Justin.
Denied. Not enough money.
I don't know if they're looking. I don't know if Memphis is. Here's the thing, because conference realignment has shaken college athletics. I mean, now you have teams in power conferences who would never really be considered power conference teams. Like, again, no disrespect, I guess, but like nobody would have thought Central Florida would be a Big 12 team. Go back 10 years ago, that was never going to happen. Now here they are. They're in there, and you know, just it's a nightmare. Conference realignment is just a nightmare. So.
It's true. It's true. Well, there's a lot. There's that was the main topic, actually.
Conference
Actually,
realignment.
not the main topic. Okay. Of course, each coach wants to talk about their team, but I would say the thread throughout, the common thread, was college football playoffs.
I could see that.
There were several head coaches that talked about it, took their time on stage to actually talk about it. And there were also, I would say, almost all of them, if not all of them, talked about the college football playoffs and the fact that the Big Ten plays 9 conference games and the SEC plays 8. And honestly, I would say the person who put it best is Kurt Signetti in his on-stage speech, where he basically said, why should we play more games than they play, and we have to match up with them at the conference games, and we have to match up with them at the end of the year.
Right.
He said, so basically Indiana decided to adopt the SEC policy because they have the second easiest schedule in the Big Ten this year. Yeah.
So they are going to just play 8 conference games?
No, they're playing 9, but one of them's like a cup. I mean, you do realize that there's like some cupcake games in the Big Ten.
No, that's the first time I'm hearing about that.
Yeah.
I mean, because they already play Purdue. Just, that's a rivalry game for them. That's not going any. That's not changing any.
Yep. I've asked that question. Why do we play 9 then? Why can't we go down to 8? And the answer I've been given is that's the media deal that we have. So it's just money. But why would they go? Why would they go to 9 when they don't have to? So it looks like the thing is we'll just probably keep the format, the playoff format that we had last season is what it's looking like. Unless somebody can meet in the middle.
I don't know if you can have 8.5 conference games. But
maybe half of the conference plays 8, the other plays 9. I don't know.
It would require the playoff selection committee to mandate, or again, I can't even say it's the NCAA anymore, really, because I don't know who's technically in control. But it would say, hey, if you want serious consideration for the playoffs, you better throw in the 9th conference game.
Yes. So. Yeah. Yep. So and they not that the college football playoff committee has made any big mistakes. It's not that. It's just, why do we have to have them? And I think that's a good point. Why do we need to leave it up to a committee to vote?
Because it's also new.
Yeah, well, I do like the idea of having the SEC play 9 conference games. Yeah.
I like this comment from Aaron Rostovsky. Conference games equal money. The SEC commissioners for 9, but the athletic directors and coaches are scared of an additional loss on their record. Mm-hmm. I would honestly say it. I'm sorry, and I always go back to these 2 examples, but in late November, in back-to-back years, the week prior to the Iron Bowl, and this is when Alabama's supposed to be like the world beater, best, team ever in college football history. They played in one year Mercer the week before the Iron Bowl, and then the next year Citadel. It's like, come on. In November, you're supposed to be playing meaningful games, not BS, hot garbage. So that's always been my big issue. You want to play a easy opponent. I'm not saying Nebraska doesn't schedule easy opponents, but they do it in September.
That's right.
Just throw in that ninth conference game and prove that you belong. Otherwise, I'm not going to. Now, look, I know that my opinion in the realm of college football on this channel, and is nobody cares. In the grand scheme of things, nobody from the SEC is like, that guy on coordination, he said something.
Greg.
But I'm not going to take the SEC seriously until they start getting on the Big Ten's level.
Yeah. And I did hear quite a few people say the Big Ten conference is the hardest conference because of that. So, yeah, I kind of feel like that's a fair claim. If you're not going to, pony up, play those 9 games, then yeah, we can say we're the toughest conference. It's
Nebraska
just bragging,
strong.
right? I said it's just bragging rights. But these guys are competitive. Sorry, keep going.
No, just in case. Nebraska Strong says the problems could be solved by giving the selection committee a mathematical formula that takes into account strength of schedule. I mean, that is borderline going back to the BCS era.
Yeah.
And having the computer module. So I think strength of schedule is important. Would it necessarily favor Nebraska this year if Nebraska has 2 opponents that are ranked? Probably not. But again, it'll take into account the powder puff games that shouldn't be on a team schedule in November.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And Jed Fish had a really good thing to mention about those non-conference games. He's like, I think non-conference games should be played as locally as possible to avoid the traveling across the country. And I like that idea. So, that helps with the in-state rivalries, the, state to state, sharing a border rivalries.
Well, I know we talked, I don't know if you remember this, a couple of weeks ago, we listed the top 25 college football rivalry names.
You know what? If it wasn't for you going through that, Greg, I wouldn't have known what the Apple bowl? Is that what it's called?
I think it's the Apple Cup.
The Apple Cup. That's what yes. I wouldn't have known what that was. When he said it, I'm like, oh my gosh, Greg would love this.
You're welcome. But, I go back to the border war, Missouri and Kansas, and they're finally going to play that again this year after like a decade of not playing it. And those regional rivalries, we'd be able to, I think we should have a rotation of Big 8 opponents that we play every year, whether it's, obviously we've had our home and home with Colorado. We've did the same with Oklahoma in the years before that. I think it'd be good to see Iowa State and Kansas State and Missouri. I think it'd be good for Nebraska fans, especially look, we are steeped in nostalgia and going back in the golden years, so to speak. I think some of those home and homes would be really good. And I think that is a more worthwhile game than Akron or Houston Christian. Let's get some more of those. Ken E knows exactly what I'm talking about. Illinois, Missouri, the bragging rights game is Ken, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the Saturday before Christmas or the second, 2 Saturdays before Christmas, something like that. Every year they play it in St. Louis because it's about the similar drive from Columbia to St. Louis as it is Champaign to St. Louis. And bragging rights is huge. So.
Yeah, I really love that idea. I think it's a great system to try and put into play. No pun intended there.
But the right people are not listening to this show.
Okay. So, we have it all figured out.
Brad would love a Big 8 home and home series. That's what I'm talking about, Brad. Mm-hmm. So give me those games again over the MAX, the Division II, FCS games. So
yeah. Well, so today I got recognized, which, I do this for the love of, well, really for the love of Nebraska. But I got involved because I want to know everything there is to know about college football as much as I possibly can. So I was out to lunch today, and somebody yells at me on the patio. And I wasn't wearing anything Nebraska, by the way. He goes, "Nebraska's going all the way." I said, "What? What's that?" Yes, we are. So that was kind of fun. That was like a first for me.
A mini spotting out in the wild.
In the wild, yes.
And then did you say like, oh, I do Nebraska YouTube shows, or
Yeah. We had
did they know that you do Nebraska shows, or?
And then I recorded them as well.
You recorded them?
Yeah, they gave me a Go Big Red and then Husker Power. We had full on chants in the restaurant. It was fantastic. It was like being a small part of Lincoln was there in Las Vegas.
Let's see. Wade Farr asked if you got recognized as the crazy girl who clapped.
Matt Rhule thanked me, by the way.
Brad asked how many days of per diem did you get?
Per diem? What is that?
It's a daily allowance. Your per diem.
I don't get per diems.
This is all out of pocket and to help the brand. Now, you were there on behalf of the Voice of College Football, which we haven't talked about. You've been doing a show there on Sunday nights as well.
Yeah. Oh, yes. And you all, I've introduced you to Doreen, my co-host, my co-pilot, my partner in crime. If you haven't met her, you got to meet her. She's fantastic. There's no way to not love her. It's like having just a brand new puppy dog. She's so fantastic. Just happy and she's a great asset. I love her to pieces. She's doing a show with me that we have decided to call The Ladies of College Football on Sundays. What? Why are you looking at me like that?
You compared your new friend to a puppy dog.
I
can't imagine a world where if I said that, it wouldn't be offensive.
That's because it's coming from you, Greg.
All right. So Sunday nights on the Voice of College Football's YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what time? So that people.
Okay. So it is. I don't know how to do the thing. It's 6
What time
o'clock
is it
Eastern.
locally? For
no,
you?
It's 9 o'clock. No, it's 6 o'clock my time. So it's 8 o'clock Central. 9 o'clock Eastern.
So you don't have to stay up that late. It's the same. Yeah. Oh, it's the same time as your Monday night show here on Coordination.
Yeah, but I've kind of been moving that to 8:30 Central.
Okay, never mind.
Because the sun doesn't go down that early in the summer. So
Nebraska Strong wants to know if we're going to see you on the next episode of JL Las Vegas.
You might. You never know. If I were to hang out with PJ Fleck, definitely. I'm telling you, that guy is so fun and crazy. I get him.
This may be the last 5-part episode with me. We can't have this much appreciation for opposing coaches on this show. This is not our style. We're 100% Nebraska and 0% everybody else. So if you're going to start talking nice about other teams and coaches, we're going to have an off-air production meeting, because can you start saying bad things about some of these schools?
Honestly, Greg, after this week, I can't say one negative thing about anybody. But just don't worry. Don't worry. We still have 4.5 weeks till Wednesday. It will grow. The hate will start growing back. There's still a little seed in there. We just need to water it.
Vince says there's a reversal of roles for you and this individual who spotted you in the cafe because you're the one being stalked this time.
Hardly stalked, but
Dana over on Facebook says, where's your video content available? It's again on YouTube, on Realistically Coordination and the Voice of College Football. So, because I don't think the Voice of College Football does their stuff on Facebook as well.
I don't know if they do or not.
So, Aaron Rostowski says, wait, did I miss the name of the restaurant? Spill the beans.
Oh, I don't remember the name of the restaurant. I'm sorry. It's at Mandalay Bay, Mexican food restaurant. I don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't even think to get the name.
You didn't think that this was a beefy audience who likes food and no.
They wouldn't have appreciated what I ordered.
I don't know. I don't even know how to.
I ordered tortilla soup.
Okay.
I know. See?
I don't know who gets soup in July.
I was freezing.
Pitt Snipe Husker says, or Pitt for short, a Big 10, Big 8 kickoff classic. It could be cool.
That would be neat.
I don't know if it would. I don't necessarily disagree. I just don't. I think it'd just have to be like an old Big 8. Like they should have like Big 8 weekend. And you get the 8 teams from the Big 8, second weekend of the season. Everybody, little rotation so that within a few years you've played everybody, and do that. I think that'd be a nice way to do it.
That would be fun.
Bring back the Big 8, by God.
Lincoln Riley said something today.
I know you.
By the way, you know I like him now too, right? I know. What is wrong with me? But he said, none of, because he talks with the draw, because none of us here got into coaching to do away with rivalries. I mean, that's the best rivalries, those state connections and in-state connections.
It's funny that the head coach at USC is like, I love those in-state rivalries because one of their biggest rivals is Notre Dame, who's more than halfway across the country. Wade wants to know why she isn't on this show if she's so special. I guess talking about Doreen.
Doreen.
So
she pops in. She'll be here. Don't worry.
She's in the comments. We don't have guests on this show.
She'll show up.
We don't, especially guests from other teams. That's gross. The Sunday night show, we need to tell people that's not a Nebraska show. That's all of college football.
That's all of college football. And it's the ladies of college football. So it's what we think is the most interesting content of the week, topics, and we're both Big Ten fans, obviously. But it's a fun show. It's only an hour. We'd love to have you, so come visit.
Our friend Perpetually Indignant, we know him by his real name, but apparently he wants to go by an alias, says, man, Greg is earning his paycheck tonight. Brother, you ain't lying.
Greg,
what?
That's not true. What about you said? That is not.
I'm keeping track of it. Well, you're being way too nice about the other teams.
Okay, I have to tell you guys this. One thing I realized, okay, get this.
Hey, Mark.
I realized this today. Oh, go ahead.
The voice of college football, a.k.a. Mark, says, I love PJ Fleck. Well, we used to like you.
I'm telling you, PJ Fleck is like, I don't know. He has a system. He believes in a system. He gets people to believe in it. He's a very, you want to talk about Matt Rhule being a minister's son. That's like PJ Fleck for sure. Like, he's one of those people, almost like a Jerry Jones. Not quite. I'm not comparing him to Jerry Jones, but, you know.
I think a great question for PJ Fleck at Big Ten Media Days 2025 would have been, hey, coach, are we going to see your pants get shorter and shorter every week this season? So that by the time it's November, you got a little Daisy Dukes running up there because what the hell are you doing, man?
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
It's crazy.
And, you know, there's really only, I'm going to just call it like I see it. There's really only, out of all the head coaches I saw, there's really only maybe like 3 that are not in prime physical condition.
And one of them is ours.
Yeah, but I don't think he's had the easiest time. When Matt Rhule talked about it, taking the job at Nebraska, he compared us to having being kind of like a fixer-upper mansion, having good bones, but being neglected for several years. So he has not had the easiest job in rebuilding it and, you know, fixing it up to where it's pretty again.
That's my excuse. I look, you know, this is a great house. It's solid. It's got good bones, but hadn't been the easiest time. And so I've neglected myself. Husker Bob says, is we're just, by the way, you do a Nebraska show right here live Thursday nights, 9:00 Central, Coordination's YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Yes.
And then you come in here, you say nice things about our rivals and their coaches. So first Kirk, then I'm guessing Cog is supposed to be Signetti, I don't know, and now PJ. We don't know who you are anymore. Or I think more importantly, we don't know where your loyalties lie.
Look, I promise. I'm not like the rest of the media that I saw today, this week. They don't even have colored covers on their laptops. Okay. I'm loud and proud. Husker fan. What? What's so funny?
Well, you know, I've never been to Big Ten Media Days. Brian and I talked a decade ago about, you know, finding time to go. Never made it work. And that was when it was in Chicago, I think. So I could have driven up there, but never did. I think constructively criticizing here, I think you did great by not being emblazoned with Nebraska red in your attire.
Mm-hmm.
I probably would have taken the Nebraska thing off my laptop, and I wouldn't have clapped for the coach. That's just me. I'm just a guy. I don't know.
I'm sure you wouldn't have, but you're not.
You now have more Big Ten Media Day experience than me, so I'll just shut up because I don't know anything.
No, it's okay. Nobody else clapped. I was an anomaly. I know, but
gotta hate Ohio State.
Matt Rhule. Huh?
Did you at least hate on Ohio State?
I didn't. But I didn't love on them either. If that helps.
Could you expound?
Well, a lot of the people there are Ohio State people. And like one guy in particular writes for Sports Illustrated in Ohio State. And so he was at all the side podiums that I was at, and he kept asking questions about referring to, you know, when they played Ohio State. Everything was skewed towards Ohio State. And he asked me if I had gotten a clip of his question being that he asked because his phone died. And I may have given him the wrong clip, maybe on purpose. I know, bad me.
You can help out the media, but you don't.
He's Ohio State. Why would I help them?
Now it's okay.
Yeah.
I feel like you secretly wanted to clap for Kirk Ferentz. So.
Kirk Ferentz gave me the look today because I asked you to please get a question from Haas because Haas hates on Iowa like nobody I know, right? And I really wanted a good question to ask Kirk Ferentz. And Haas sends this question having to do with a play, last year's game, and what was it? Pass coverage. How did you read our defensive line with this pass coverage? It was big on big and yada, yada, yada. So I read this whole thing to Kirk. And
hold on, I got the question right here.
Oh, yeah, go ahead and read it.
He says, and he couldn't think of anything besides in-depth X's and O's questions. He said, how did you and Phil Parker decide to blitz the back against Nebraska last year? Was it an auto check or a green dog based on down and distance?
This is me. I'm asking this question. It's coming out of my mouth, okay? And I'm like, this is going to be, just bear with me, Kirk. So I read it, and he looks at me. He goes, I'm not going to give away our game plans. But he just laughed because I guess he thought I was cute. And so he did talk a little bit about, how he prepares for a game. That was nice. I know.
Let's see. I'm getting caught up on 10 minutes of comments. I apologize. Fred said something a few minutes ago, several minutes ago. Oh, he said, next time he's on the Monday night show, he's going to toughen Minnie up. He says, don't worry, Greg, I got you.
Oh, boy.
I don't know exactly what that means.
I'm scared.
W. Jason Spangler, a Kansas fan. I know my logos. Sorry, W. Says Chipotle. Did you go to Chipotle today?
I did not. It was not. It wasn't like some
Taco Bell.
No, I would have remembered either one of those.
Amigos. Hey, look who decided to join us for the first time in feels like weeks.
Yeah.
BFOTS Josh Hansen. What was it, Amigos? Did you go to Amigos?
I don't think so. I don't know it. I honestly can't remember the name of it. Banderas, maybe? I thought
Me Huskeritos is Roger's guess.
I don't think it was that.
Nebraska Strong says you should have asked Signetti if he's going to be a weenie again this year.
Oh, my gosh. Telling you what. Nothing weenie about him. He is a hardcore college football coach.
Joe wants to know if you went to Del Taco or Pollo Loco.
Guys, I told you it wasn't like a place that I would know off the top of my head. It was like, one of those casino restaurants.
It wasn't the Venetian, was it?
No, it was at Mandalay Bay.
Okay.
Yeah. Why is this important?
Because again, you know me. Okay. I'm just going to speak for myself and not for our tremendous fan family.
Thank you. Okay.
Because I don't want to disrespect them. I got no problem disrespecting myself. You can't talk about a restaurant, especially one that you enjoyed, and not know the name of the restaurant. Because again, I'm speaking for me. I like food. So if I'm ever in Vegas, I'll be like, hey, I wonder what that Mexican place was that Minnie went to that one day. I'll never know because Minnie can't remember the name of the restaurant.
I don't know if they have good food. Let me just say
you just had soup. And which Josh is surprised they even sold soup in Vegas in July.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm sure it's great. Just I wouldn't know. I just needed a place to chill.
Well, I mean,
5 minutes.
I've never been to Vegas. You've been to Vegas a few times.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Vegas and had bad food?
Honestly, I'm not I know this is going to surprise you guys. I'm not a foodie. I care more about the ambiance of a restaurant.
Well, for me, I'm a bigger fella. Ambiance starts with food.
I know.
Because I don't care about the lighting or the atmosphere. If the food is shit, I'm not going back.
Okay.
I'm also a big fan of a greasy spoon diner because you know what you're getting and it's usually delicious.
I know. Okay.
W says, sounds like Minnie just understands Nebraska's position in the college football hierarchy.
No, no, no. No, in fact, I will tell you this. I think this is coming from a Husker fan. So I may be a little biased, but I don't think I am. I mean, you hear what I'm saying about the other coaches. I really do think that the Huskers had more of a draw than any other team, including Ohio State. Maybe the same as Ohio State. People are very, very interested in everything Husker.
What, you had the opportunity to watch or hear Matt Rhule speak a couple of times, right? What was your biggest takeaway? Let's start doing brass tacks here. Nebraska football.
Okay.
What was your biggest takeaway from Matt Rhule?
That I mean, this is hard to just choose one thing. There's so many things that I enjoyed about him.
Yeah, we're trying to sift through almost an hour worth of
Don't
content.
sift, because it's gonna come and go out of my brain. Like, seriously, I can't remember most of it. But I'll tell you one of the things that I loved. This is one thing: the Brahma Bull. He was asked, whose idea was that? You know, the ordeal when he let the bull into the weight room,
gotcha.
And then he got on it. And somebody asked, why would you get on it? Like, what were you thinking? He's like, I don't know. Somebody said I could.
That's fair.
He apparently had just barely okayed it. Like, he just said, okay, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead, as long as it's okay with everybody else. And the next day, the bull shows up. And what's more Nebraska than that?
Not much, but I know he talked about perhaps performance and accountability as it pertains to Dana Holgorsen. And I guess our offensive coordinator's mentality is, I don't care what you did last Saturday, or since we have a season opening Thursday night game last Thursday, if you're not putting in the effort, in the practice, don't expect to get the time on the field in the following week.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
I will tell you, Lincoln Riley, I mean, I'm going to have to go back and watch all the videos that I recorded because I don't remember very many. I mean, I remember bits and pieces, and I took notes, but it was a lot. And I have not rewatched anything from the Huskers. I mean, I haven't since I was there recording it. So please give me a moment. But Lincoln Riley today was talking about going up against Dana Holgorsen because they have coached together in the past. And he talked about what a difference Dana Holgorsen made in the game last year, that he could see a huge difference in our offense in just one game. And they were laughing about it. He said him and Dana were laughing about how he wasn't even on the staff 2 weeks prior, and then he's calling plays that game. But it just goes to show you what a difference maker Dana Holgorsen is, that he could tell what an improvement we had made.
Let's see. Sorry. Sorry,
What is going on?
I'm getting caught up on a lot of comments here. All right, so Nebraska's player contingent: Dylan, Henry Lutovsky, Deshaun Singleton, and Marquise Buford, who was doing more online social media videos and things like that. You had told me in one of our production meetings that they had all the players talking at the same time, right? So, like, you didn't have a chance to hear Deshaun and Lutovsky because King Dylan was at the podium.
Well, I don't like that you put it that way. Let me explain. So, in the back of the room, behind where Big Ten Network does their big show, they have basically like a U shape of side podiums, is what it's called. And it's just it's a podium up on a stage, and it's 2 rows of chairs for media. And then behind that, a lot of people with cameras, they set up. Big Ten Network, I think, is at every single one of them. So you can ask questions kind of one-on-one. You don't have to stand up and say that, I'm so-and-so from this place, and here's my question, coach, be very official that way. It's just like you and I are talking. And they have the Nebraska, and all the schools get 3 players each. They have each one of them at different podiums, but at the same time. So you have to basically choose which one you want to talk to, and they only allow them to be there for 30 minutes. 30 minutes with Dylan, I mean, come on, that's nothing. So,
oh my. Aaron Keene says, serious question. Did Rhule say anything different than he has the last 2 years?
Yeah, he did. I want to say one of the most surprising things when you ask that question is the first thing that came to mind is that he put up a poster of Scott Frost. And I can't remember in his office.
Oh.
And I can't remember exactly why. I think it was because of
this is what not to do.
I know. I gotta remember. I mean, guys, like I said, I have to go back and rewatch everything, but I do remember him saying
How to not lose your job in 5 years.
It's so weird that he's admitting all of this, and how he kept saying, that Nebraska was not a good job for him to take. That, that's what it was, that Scott Frost could never go home again after he lost his job. And he said that if he lost his job, he could just go back to the beach. He'd have no problem. But, that he was a national championship winner and he could never come home again. And that's really sad when you think about it.
Our friend Mark says, I don't think the Frost picture's in Rhule's office. It's somewhere in the football office. And I think you're right. And there was another, Josh reiterates that said as long as he's here, he hopes Scott is always welcome back. And did a picture of Frost as a player to show respect. So
there we go. Okay. So somebody else caught that too. Good. Yeah, that was actually really surprising. And that's I want to say that's how he started off. That's what he started talking about when I first walked up.
Honestly, that's not a bad, coaches always start just with a little speech. It's not a bad way to, not that he had to necessarily respond, but Scott Frost comments at Big 12 Media Days a couple of weeks ago about how, got to make sure you take the right job. It's addressing Scott Frost without addressing the comments, if that makes any sense. So I don't. Scott Frost is a national champion quarterback for the University of Nebraska. You can't take that away from him. He failed as a head coach drastically.
Okay. Fair.
But, will he be quote unquote welcome back? I mean, first of all, in 2 years' time, we'll have the 30th anniversary of the 1997 national championship team. And if he's successful, or at least successful by UCF's standards, I mean, I'm sure they'll have players back from that 97 squad, but it won't be him because he'll be coaching somewhere else on that Saturday. So I don't know. It's what?
Melissa just said what Rhule said. He said Scott was right. It was a bad job when Rhule got here.
Yeah, so. And he's turned it around, or is turning it around. I don't want to say, I don't want to sit here and say the work is done, because we're not conference champions in the college football playoffs or anything like that. Work's not done, but we're in a better situation than we were 3 years ago. So, yeah, it was not a good job to take.
Yeah. Okay, David Matney, that's going a little far. Let's not do that tonight. Tonight is about celebration.
It is,
right? I feel like it is.
I thought tonight was about you telling us all about Big Ten Media Days.
Yeah. Here's the thing that I realized, again, going back to what I said at the beginning. Not only are these head coaches just human, I know they get paid for it, for their job. They're doing the best they can, and they don't have any control over so much of their job. They're just given rules. They're told, okay, this is what you're going to do now. This is revenue sharing. This is NIL. Remember Chip Kelly just 2 years ago? He left UCLA because of his frustrations with dealing with NIL and trying to do fundraising. And now, 2 years later, they have a revenue sharing. That might have changed things for him. I don't know. But I just think that this is such a constant changing thing, and these guys are doing the best they can. So it's nice to know that.
But we don't want to be too nice about them.
Okay.
Because they're still, maybe not they're not our rivals. Not all of them are our rivals, but they're certainly our opposition.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah.
I don't want to be I don't want to be a part of being nice to those people.
I agree. One of the things I also learned is how important it is to be able to run. This is what a lot of coaches, I'd say at least half of them said, how important it is to get into those November games and be able to run the ball. And I know somebody or a couple people asked what other Husker media people thought about the Husker team now. And while I didn't really get a chance to talk to everyone, I know that the major concern is the running back room. Just because we don't have any, I mean, we have Emmett Johnson, but other than that, who do we have?
Quentin Ives.
That's tried, that we have, that we know is tried and true. So I think it was, I want to say it must have been Ryan Day who was talking about having two running backs that basically had similar. Yes, Isaiah Mosey is moving also. Yep. So I know they're trying to address it.
I got some starred comments. I know we're only an hour in, so this is definitely not the end of the show, but we do have some starred comments.
Okay.
When you talked about your encounter with Dylan, Pitt says, this sounds like a Reese Witherspoon movie.
Really? It is not. I like Reese Witherspoon in many ways.
You do or don't?
Of course I do. And I'm sure Pitt likes her too. All of her movies.
All of her movies?
Sweet Home Alabama. That's a good one.
You said all of her movies like they're all bangers.
They are.
They're not.
Legally Blonde.
Oh, God. Moving on. You're welcome, Pitt. BFOTS Josh Hansen says, I've been gone a minute, buddy. You've been gone like months. I feel like we haven't seen you in a while. What are the purple crown thingies? Minnie, you want to explain that one?
What?
In the comments on YouTube, they have like their ranking.
Okay. Yes. From what I understand, whoever is the best at chat, you get ranked. You get crowned. So you better get pretty good at it.
By the way, W. Jason Spangler says, walk the line. That's, I think, my favorite.
That is a good one. That is beautiful.
Performance. And she did her own stunts, sang her own songs in that movie.
Oh, fantastic.
So, let's see here. Come back to that one, Joe. That's for a little later in the show. Ken E says, this year's version of the Huskers has some swagger, the kind of swagger you earn through hard work and put the time in. Right. He's talking about the players and their approach to the Big Ten Media Days, the players who were present. I mean, I like the fact that Marquise Buford's back. I hope he stays healthy. I hope he has a tremendous year. He's should be a really solid anchor for us in the defensive secondary. He's a veteran presence who has been around the college game now long enough to be able to tell everybody where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So Deshaun Singleton's another one who's got lots of experience. You know, I don't know why, like, maybe this is the Kool-Aid. I don't know. But I'm fairly confident heading into 2025.
I am. Well, you should be. Didn't I tell you what Matt Rhule said? He said to everyone, we're going to make a run for it. Meaning we're going to try and make it all the way. He's never said that before. And not that long ago, his last press conference, I heard him say, we actually have a good team here. He's never said that before either. So he does believe in this team. He does believe in the pieces that we have, that we can get there.
Let's see. We're talking about the rankings, and W. Jason says, I'm sure posting super chats improves your ranking. Rostowski says, only one way to find out. Crown me for $1.99.
Well, you should at least have Greg do something if you're going to throw money around.
He says, I don't think it worked. Now, tell me about this, because Kaylee has entered the chat and says, I did love when Dylan said Nebraska deserves to be back on the map. She said, that got my adrenaline going, tells me he's fighting for the relevance of the team. I think he also said in that quote that he said, and not because of me.
Yep.
Right? Or you know, in maybe paraphrasing. But first of all, I'm in a big agreement with that sentiment. Not saying this just as a Nebraska fan, obviously, but as a college football fan. But college football is better when Nebraska is good and relevant, which we haven't been in a number of years. So what was your immediate reaction when you heard Dylan say that?
I think he's just trying that Nebraska deserves to be on the map, back on the map. That I think it was in context to recruits is what he was talking about, and getting all eyes on Nebraska. So
it wasn't necessarily about like championship caliber football. I mean, I understand that it's the snake eating its own tail. Like Nebraska winning is going to get more eyes, which is going to get more recruits, which is going to have Nebraska winning. So I understand that there's a process to it. But my understanding, again, in the context that I read, was that Dylan was talking more about, like
he
Nebraska.
He might have been.
Okay.
He might have been, because at that time, I think while he was talking, I was thinking about Dayton, his brother, because all the work that Dylan Raiola has put in to the program, and he's not even officially a Husker yet, right?
Right.
I do believe that Dayton staying tried and true to Nebraska this whole entire time had an influence on Dylan coming to Nebraska. He was asked about his NIL deals. There was a guy going around asking all the players about, have you had any problems with NIL? And Dylan said, honestly, I have no idea what the NIL deals look like. I don't read them. I have my family who I trust and my agent who I trust do handle those things for me. He said, huh?
Go ahead.
No, what were you going to say?
No, I want you to finish your thought before I jump in with the
Well,
sidebar.
by doing that, there's a hiccup. I can't finish.
I know we're a few years deep into NIL now, but it's still such a foreign concept to me that college athletes are talking about their agents. Like, it's usually something like they played their last game and then they hire an agent and then they go to the combine and then they get drafted or and it just seems like we're fast forwarding the entire process. And again, I know it's the college football landscape or college athletics landscape has changed and there's no putting the toothpaste back in the tube. It's just, I'm still, I'm old and it takes my brain a long time to process simple bits of information apparently. So,
well, you know who's older? Kirk Ferentz is going to have a birthday soon. He's going to be 70.
84.
70, and he's still coaching.
That means, look, that means he's younger than my parents, and that doesn't seem right.
And he's in really good shape, by the way.
What are you saying? My parents aren't in good shape? What the hell?
I have no idea. Are they?
No, they're all right.
Okay.
All right. So we're jumping around because it's Thursday night, and that's what we do. We're a circus show of.
No, we're not.
We're a little bit.
We're getting out there.
Rostovsky's super chat did elevate him.
Good.
He's now in first place.
Ooh.
So.
Oh, I like that.
And Mr. Spangler says congrats. And living in Omaha, David Manny, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, says amazing it worked. That means that if you want to supplant Mr. Rostovsky as number one, no, that's not my way. I've never been, I don't come on here asking for money or member. But we haven't had a new member in a while, so we haven't had a reason to hit our new member.
I'm quite proud of that. We came up with that all on our own. It was a good little thing.
So if you want to be a member of the Coronation YouTube channel, we encourage you to do so. And it's usually best to join live on a Thursday night. And that's about
don't do it on a Monday because I don't have access to it.
Fred says we need a graphic or a song or a 5 Heart Theater. We can do that. Not a 5 Heart Theater. We don't have that kind of preparation. But You know what? How about this one? This is for all of you out there. It's for all you lovely people. This is for all you lovers.
I love how Roger Moore just always throws in housekeeping. And don't forget to fluff your pillows.
Is that?
That's what he means.
I don't think that's what he
used to say. Huh?
I don't think anything's getting fluffed around here.
No, definitely not. Oh.
What?
Okay, nothing.
I'm minutes behind. Let me get caught up here. Oh,
there's a new member, I think.
No, I
right?
don't know. It says do the new member thing. Do it. Oh, he's just paying us he's just trying to buy the
Well, Greg, you have to do it.
W. Jason Spangler. By the way, do you want to go by W. Jason Spangler, Egon?
Jason Spangler, he's a KU fan.
Yeah, says you should ask for money. Everyone else does. I'm trying to set myself apart. I don't have bills to pay. Why would anybody give me money? I have lots of bills. Well, let's do housekeeping, and then we'll do the new member thing for Fred.
Sounds good.
Even though he's just trying to buy it. I don't know. It feels cheap, tawdry a little bit.
It is cheap.
I don't
Membership is cheap. Okay, go.
I think it's cheaper to get the membership than to give the anyway. We'll start here for all of you on YouTube. Make sure if you haven't already, like this video. I'm going to do it right now because that's right. I'm keeping tabs on the placements of you Holger Maniacs. So I'm going to hit like. It's a little self-serving to like my own video. So I've done that. And subscribe to the Coronation YouTube channel if you haven't already. And after you hit subscribe, make sure that Minnie, help me out with that bell.
This is not fair. I never know which corner. Is it?
Yep. Nope. Yep. Yep. Now just nope. Nope. It's all the way over there. The ring the bell for notifications so you never miss new content here on the Coronation YouTube channel, whether it's the stream like the 5 Heart Podcast or Monday Night Therapy or the All the Right Movies with Andy Ketterson, which is going to eventually become the Happy Hour, Husker Happy Hour. Eventually we'll be doing the Sunday night show, Coronation Overreaction again, and you just don't want to miss any of the good stuff. And also our founder, our fearless leader, your hero and mine, John Dam Johnston, has written a trilogy of books all about his heart attack and the brain damage. And he says, been dead, never been to Europe. My recovery from the Widowmaker heart attack and the brain injury that came with it by John Johnston. And the other 2 books all available on Amazon. So you just go to Amazon, type in John Johnston. You'll be able to find his entire trilogy there. And nope, that's not the right button. There we go. Nope, shit. Okay, and we're back. All right. And get it together. Get your head out of your ass, Mahachko. All right. And the other thing we have for you, okay, this one's, hold on, make sure I highlight the thing so the thing can be, where'd it go?
Are you going to do it or not?
I tried to put, he says, do the new member thing. I wanted to have the.
You.
All right, here we go. You become a new member, you get to hear this more often.
We just got a new YouTube member.
And speaking of members, do the very best for your member by hooking it up with Blue Chew. Go to BlueChew.com.
We have to take care of our members. You know, one thing I'm actually disappointed in us about is that we didn't put together like a cute video for that. We need to work on that.
I mean, I guess it's not too late. It can always be updated.
Yeah, especially before the season starts.
Okay. There you go. Dance, puppets, dance. You keep spending that hard-earned money. Jason says, I just subscribed. If the Huskers start 3-0, I'll sign up for full membership.
There you go. We're going to do it, Jason, and you will be here listening to that little thing and possibly watching a video.
And Jason, if they go 4-0, that includes a win over Michigan, what will our reward be then? Very curious. Then says a Blue Chew video should be uplifting.
There you go. We will make sure it is.
All right, more comments here. 1970 Shaw says, wow, I need a woman as compassionate as Minnie. All the women I get in my life are browbeating critics.
Oh, no. I'm sure by the time the season rolls around, I'll be a browbeating critic as well.
Okay. Aaron says, I'm sorry for all the shit I said when I was right. David Matney, probably. Okay, so we talked about Abraham Bull being brought into the strength and conditioning center, and Mr. Spangler says Coach Prime will now bring in a lion. The man can never be shown up.
This is true.
You
know him well. That's exactly what he's doing.
BFOTS Josh Hansen says Minnie's the real Nebraska nice. Us actual Nebraskans hate for real.
Well, okay. I get it. You guys, I actually had, a lot of hate growing prior to this week. I was growing in the teams that I'm like, yeah, I don't really like them. I don't like what they said about us there. I don't like what they did there. It was expanding. It was multiplying, actually. It wasn't just expanding. It was multiplying. And then I go and I listen to these guys, and they're not trying to win people over. They're just trying to, tell about their program. And when you're just sitting there and talking with somebody, just like we're talking, you kind of get to know somebody for real, unless it's PJ Fleck, because it's still, I get why people, Mark brought this up, why people think that he's kind of fake. Because, and I'm not spreading rumors. I don't think he does drugs, but he has so much energy all the time. And
I'm not saying he does drugs, but do you remember that very special episode of Saved by the Bell when Jesse Spano got addicted to pills? And she was so excited. And she was so
I do remember that. But he is a lot to take. It's fun, but a lot to take.
Speaking of, Mark says a friend of his calls PJ Fleck a Pentecostal youth minister, and I can't think of anything more horrifying. Yeah. And Mr. Keene wants to know if PJ is getting his own altar next to Dylan's in your house now, Minnie. Holy cow.
He's not. I know this is not the right thing to say here. I know it isn't. I just like him because he's like, I'm used to the cards being stacked against me. Look at me. He's like maybe 2 inches taller than me. I feel he has a grasp on things and he knows how to get things done. I'm impressed with that. Okay, can we move on from PJ?
No.
Please.
Yeah, we have another question from the comments here. Let's see. Serious question. No Kool-Aid from Living in Omaha. David Matney, the official realtor of the Five Heart Podcast. What are our chances of playing in a Big Ten championship this year? No Kool-Aid, which is probably going to be more difficult for me than it is for you.
Okay. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think it is possible. Chances are, on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being we're definitely making it there?
Sure, let's do that.
Okay. I would give us a 9.5. And the only reason why I have a hesitation to give us a 10 is because of Penn State and Ohio State and Illinois being ahead of us slightly. I'm not really sure.
We don't play Illinois. We don't play Ohio State.
We don't play them. You're right.
Let's control what we can control. I guess let's follow. Yeah, let's ask this question.
Strong 9.5.
Well, hold on. Now we're getting into a very dangerous question or territory because Melissa says predictions show. Gosh,
I'm sorry. Greg, I get it. I have access to comments too. I let you. Okay. Thank you, Sean, for your comment. I'm apparently not allowed to read it.
Well, let's do it. Sean says 9.5 LMAO. This can't be real.
No, it's real. It's real.
And Rostowski says, so Minnie did visit the dispensary prior to tonight's taping.
No, you guys, I told you. I tried that once.
Jason says, how many White Claws she drank? Fred says, I like our chances except for these several teams that are probably better than us and ahead of us. So
I like our chances except for these several teams that are probably better than us.
Did you not hear? I just read the comment.
But what several teams is he talking about?
Well, I think he's probably meaning like nationally.
Oh.
Not
we're talking about Big Ten conference champions, right? That's what we're talking about. That was the question.
No, we're talking about chances of making the college football playoffs.
Okay.
You do not have to be a conference champion to make it to the playoffs. Brad says, Minnie, start talking about Nebraska and the PJ Birds will stop chirping from the cheap trees.
Watch. Tomorrow I'm going to wake up and be like, what did I just do? Oh, no. Is that a bad dream? And then everyone's going to be like, you're a PJ Fleck lover.
Just wait. You're about to get all the hate tweets. But this is why I said we're dipping into dangerous territory because Melissa says predictions show when, and that came after she said, hey, the first game is on a Thursday. What are you two doing with the show? Well, we're not going to do a show the night of the game because we're watching the game. So the prediction show will be the week prior.
Okay.
And that will be on I've got to remember my day, the 21st, I believe, because the game's on the 28th. And so we'll do that. No show the week of the game because we'll all be watching the game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what, but the reason
we can do a 5-part on Monday.
Or we can do a 5-part on Monday. What the hell?
Less for me to plan. Let's do it the 5-part on Monday since the game's on Thursday.
Okay. And then are we doing we'll still need to do our predictions on Thursday.
Okay. Sounds good.
The prior.
Yeah. So we all
the boys will be here and
ready.
I'm likely to be interrupted on Monday. So.
Okay.
All right. Somebody write that down because I'll forget.
Oh, don't worry.
Minnie will forget because she's been drinking and apparently.
No, I won't. So the 25th, we're doing a 5-part. We're making up for the one we missed last week.
Okay. Haas is here and says, Minnie, did Kirk Ferentz anoint you as an official football guy or gal after your in-depth X's and O's question about blitzing the back?
Haas, you're late. We went over this. He laughed at me and said, I'm not going to discuss strategy. And he had just like this kind of like coy grin on his face because I was asking. He goes, but I will talk about this. And he went into kind of what he does to prepare for a game and how he looks at the defense and looks for holes. So there you go. Thank you also for the question. I had to read it from the thing because there's no way I could remember that terminology. Well, I don't even know what green dog is.
Let's see. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5-Heart Podcast, says, so not being under the influence is not a requirement for being a co-host. I mean, we have an entire segment called What's Greg Drinking Today? So being under the influence of something, it's almost a requirement.
Yeah.
Let's see. Nebraska Strong says Penn State away, USC, Michigan, Minnesota away, and Iowa, and follows up. We have to win at least 4 of 5 of those to even have a chance at the Big Ten championship game. I never even gave my chances of making the college football playoffs and I'm not going to. I'm going to be purposefully coy because I don't want to get into season prediction time. And if I give away,
Greg,
answer,
you reserve the right to change your answer between now and August 25th or 21st.
Or I can plead the fifth.
No, why would you do that? That's not playing along. Don't do that.
I think people know me well enough to know that at this stage of the show, at this stage of my life, I can make up my own rules.
All right, fine. I'm not going to, obviously, I can't make you do it, but I think you should for the betterment of the show.
Okay. Fine. James says drink the fifth instead of plead the fifth. Pitt says 10. In July, our chances are 10.
That's right. He's right. Good job.
Why not? Pitt takes my answer. We share a brain. We share a birthday. I like that guy. Rostovsky is filling us in. Haas tees up the lingo, and Rostovsky hits out of the park. Says dog is an outside blitz. Green is basically green light for a linebacker or defensive back to blitz if the guy he's assigned to cover is staying in to block. So, green dog.
How did they know? Yeah, how did they know? He, like he said, he studies his opponent and looks at their weaknesses and takes a gamble. He did say he basically takes a gamble on whether or not it's going to pay off in game time because they could change the way that they play. So
I don't want to give it away. Jason says, see, this is how you host a show in the business. We call it a tease. Thank you. But no, I don't get to have fun and be playful. I got to just give all the answers now and then repeat them all in a month. That's the rule.
It's a teaser to the tease. I don't know.
Haas would rather go
fluffer.
Haas would rather go 10-2 and not make the Big Ten title game and get seeded in the last third of the college football playoffs. So,
yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I agree.
I'm just trying to think if a 10-2 Nebraska makes the college football playoffs. A 10-2, and I'm thinking of at this point you have to get into strength of schedule. If there's a litany of 10-2 teams,
funny. That's exactly what I'm looking at right now.
You know, I don't know. I think if you want to lock in a college football playoff bid, you got to have one loss, no more.
Yeah.
If it's 11-1 in the regular season and let's say 11-2 after the college football playoff, I think you still get in. I'm sorry, not the Big Ten championship. I just don't know if 10-2 missing the Big Ten title game gets you in, because you'll have two Big Ten teams for sure ahead of you, quite possibly another 10-2 team, maybe one that beat you in the regular season. I don't know. Those are just my thoughts. I'm not that bright.
Another thing that other coaches were saying, you know how we have put on muscle in the right ways, like we've really built up each position to have the right body type, as push their body to that extreme as much as we can. A lot of the head coaches, and see, this is why Matt Rhule, I believe, is so like on lockdown these days as far as letting information out. A lot of head coaches these days were also talking about how much muscle their teams have put on compared to last season. I think, honestly, I really do believe that Nebraska is always at the forefront, especially with Matt Rhule. He's always, we're one of the, there was only one other team that brought an extra student athlete. And do you know how he got away with doing that? You're only allowed to bring 3. Marquise Buford was not at a side podium, but he was basically like covering the Huskers. He was like
cool.
the MC. Yeah. So that's how he was able to, because, I mean, you think about it, Marquise Buford has been with the program for so long. Why wouldn't you want to reward him for his dedication? You know, and to not be able to do that, that would suck.
No, I agree 100%. Let's see. Can you read this one by Rostovsky?
No, I cannot.
Haas says, I think we'll see multiple 2-loss teams in the college football playoff this year. Kaylee says a 10-2 Nebraska isn't making it over a 10-2 Bama, LSU, or another dozen teams out there. Jason Spangler says having 1 loss is going to quickly become a very rare thing. Fred says 10-2 would not get us in because of a weaker schedule. Brad Wilson says 10-2 teams last year didn't make it. So. Rostovsky, though, says a 10-2 Big Ten or SEC team is for sure going to the playoff. I don't know. Hey, let's celebrate being 10-2 before we start figuring out if we're going to be in the playoffs or not. And let's get to the season. Let's get being 1-0. You can't be 10-2 if you start 0-3. I don't think we're going to be 0-3. But
I just found the graphic I was looking for.
Oh, good.
This is from Phil Steele. He put together the strength of schedule. So from worst to best, or from worst
from
to
toughest to
easiest.
easiest, right? For Wisconsin having the toughest Big Ten schedule, and Nebraska having the easiest conference schedule. So
if you look at that, Indiana, Illinois, and Michigan, there are 3 pretty good teams that have pretty easy schedules, right?
I'm not ready to anoint Illinois as a pretty decent team.
You need to. I'm telling you.
I'm not going to.
Oh,
I assure you the day will never happen when I sit back and say, you know, that Illinois team's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know. But I'm telling you, they are. They have a lot of returners. And Brett Bielema knows how to coach football. He just does. I'm sorry, Greg. He does.
You don't have to apologize to me. I'm not as fat as he is. I'm not saying something because I'm husky.
You might be. I walked by him several times.
He might be what?
Size? No, I'm not saying that. I'm sorry. Nothing.
Are you saying that I'm as big as Bert?
He didn't look that big. Like, he's tall, but he didn't look that round. Maybe he's on Ozempic. Who knows?
Ozempic. All right. Let's see here. Are we done with this graphic?
Oh, yeah. You can remove it. Yep.
It sucks for Purdue because Purdue's not a good football team, and having the 3rd toughest schedule in the conference I don't think is going to make them any better.
You know, one thing that's interesting, though, is they have a brand new coach, Barry Odom, who is able to bring football players with him. And, they're not starting from scratch, is what I'm trying to say. As well as they have, is it Devin Mockabee as their running back? It's really a good running back.
Vince Watson says all the Nebraska opponents are on the easy end. Is that a coincidence? Well, Iowa is in at number 9. Of course, you can't see it because of your comment. We have Northwestern, we have USC, and UCLA. And again, these are just toughest schedules, not necessarily best teams. So this isn't, again, a ranking of quality of the program. Otherwise, you know, Penn State, middle of the pack, and they're preseason top 5 team, I think. So Ohio State, middle of the pack, also, you know, a top team or a top team. we'll see. All right, let's see here. Aaron Rostovsky, Aaron Rostovsky says, I submitted a request to be in Arrowhead press box with Andy today.
Again, yeah, Andy told me.
Where you can't cheer because you're a member of the media.
That's right. No cheering allowed.
Slap even for one coach out of 18 because you're a member of the media.
Yeah.
Let's see. Earlier on in the show when we were talking about becoming a member, Kaylee says, truthfully, there are some funny Blue Chew commercials. You really have some stiff competition.
What? Really? You've been listening to Blue Chew commercials? Kaylee, what's going on?
Little Kaylee. So apparently I have my work cut out for me. And I say challenge accepted. I'm going to get back to the writing room soon. So
yeah, we need to work on that. It needs to get a little better, Greg. Okay.
Keen says, I know of like 5 fat, decent football coaches, and Bert is 4 of them.
That's not nice. That is not nice.
Let's see here. We're going to take just a few minutes because we are individuals of a certain age. And here at the end of the show, it's been a rough week for Gen Xers, as we'll say. Malcolm Jamal Warner, a.k.a. Theo Huxtable, passed away earlier this week. And within a 48-hour time frame, we lost both Ozzy Osbourne and today, or at least it was made public today, that we lost Terry Bollea, a.k.a. Hulk Hogan. And I know, look, we got a couple of comments about this. Like Joe, for example, says, Greg, are you in mourning with the Hulkster's passing? I'm not. Like Greg the adult, not so much, but like the child, like, Greg, it's a part of my childhood, that is gone now. And then Nebraska Strong says, Iowa, what you gonna do, brother, when the Huskers run wild on you? So
when I heard about Hulk Hogan passing, I thought about Fred because he shared with us this picture last year. Well, he shared it with you and you shared it with me.
That's what I do.
Yes. Because he said he got to meet one of his heroes. So I was thinking about you, Fred.
Kaylee says, when I was little, I saw Hulk throw down Andre the Giant. It's called Body Slam. And thought he was a superhero. He was. He was a real-life superhero. And, he modernized, for lack of a better term, an entire industry of entertainment. Pro wrestling. So, Aaron Rostovsky also says George Koeman, Golden Earrings guitarist. That's a deep cut. I'm familiar with Golden Earring. I know a couple of their songs. They're just not coming to my brain right now. Rostovsky says any Suburban Commando fans in the chat, or so here's the thing. Hulk Hogan did a lot of things. People who didn't watch wrestling or didn't know, maybe only first saw him in Rocky III as Thunderlips. But, he did Suburban Commando. I think Mr. Nanny. He had a series on TNT in the 90s called Thunder in Paradise. Radar Love. There we go. Was the Golden Earring song. And Chuck Mangione, too? Yes, he did. He tossed Rocky out of the ring in Rocky III. But we share this photo because Fred was kind enough to share with us. Had Real American Beer was recently, very recently, involved in. I'm probably not going to get the name right, but it's a freestyle wrestling company where they're taking like legit collegiate Olympic quality athletes and going to make a show, a wrestling show around these individuals, men and women. I would imagine that project is still going on. But anyway, it's you lose the Hulkster, and you start to be like, oh crap, people get old and they die.
They do, but he died way too early. He just
71.
did. Yeah, that's way too early.
So, and then
especially for somebody who was in his shape,
he was not in good shape.
He wasn't?
No, I mean, so he'd had I don't know how well you follow professional wrestling, Minnie.
I mean, I don't. The only thing I know was back in the day it being called WWE.
It was WWF. Now it's WWE. But yeah, first of all, living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, says, "Are we sure that Hulk Hogan wasn't asking Fred for a photo?" That's entirely possible. But for the majority of Hulk's career, his finishing move, and you got to remember this is the 80s and 90s when you could get away with it, was a leg drop. So think about like dropping 280 to 300 pounds on your tailbone every other night, sometimes maybe twice a day, because that was, I can't replicate it. I encourage you to go, if you want to see it, just go throw it in your Google machine. So he had a ton of back and knee problems, the 24-inch python's brother, but he had been in some serious pain in the last few years. So, but yeah, I mean, who was it? Yeah, Pitt says he was he ended up 2 inches shorter than he used to be. So, but regardless, he's an icon. He's the immortal Hulk Hogan. So as I was not really a Hulkamaniac growing up, but I certainly appreciate his contribution to pop culture. And he's someone who, for what he did for, he like I said, he saved an entire industry and helped give thousands of people careers and possibilities in that industry, since in the last 40 years. So his contributions to that can't really be measured, and he will be missed. But many, as we flip the page going backwards chronologically, you can walk us through this one.
Yeah. Okay. So I think this was possibly my second and last Black Sabbath concert. It was taken at Mandalay Bay, the casino I was at today, when Ozzy came in 2016. So I want to say that was his last concert tour that he was able to do here in the States. I know he recently did another one in England, a concert. And
he I think just a couple weeks ago did one more show type thing, but I didn't realize he had Parkinson's. And the majority of this show, if not for all of it, he just sat in a very Ozzy Osbourne-esque, chair and sang from the chair. So,
yeah. So when I saw him in 2016, he was holding onto the mic, and you could tell that there was something off. Like he was just rocking back and forth the whole time. Voice sounded beautiful, and it was a great concert. But yeah, I just thought, isn't that ironic that I'm here at the same casino where this concert was taken? So yeah, I'm with David and Ty. And yeah, so that's sad. Also too young to go.
It's just, and I get, like, gosh dang, shit happens. It just happens a lot, in in a short span. So, we as fans, we have a certain perspective, and I think we feel we have a certain ownership to some of these individuals and their personalities. But, we think about their family in a time like this, the people who actually knew them, lived with them, loved them, more than just the fan and the entertainment value that they provided. So, we think about them, and and it sucks. At the end of the day, it just sucks. So
yeah, get out and see all your heroes. That's the moral of the story. Go see them when they're alive.
Let's see, that show that we're talking about that Ozzy did just a few weeks back was July 5th. That was actually on my birthday. Mm-hmm. Back to the beginning, and Aaron Keene says Ozzy refused to take his pain meds so he could be clear-headed for his last show, made $190 million and donated all of it. The most metal exit ever.
Mm-hmm.
So
very cool. It's amazing. Great guy.
Ozzy, James Boardman says Ozzy's a miracle. He should have died 40 years ago. Keith Richards will outlive us all. Ozzy was arrested back in the 70s in St. Louis. I don't remember the specifics, but I remember his mugshot. I'm sure you can Google it. My previous job, I used to make deliveries to a number of St. Louis Metro Police Department precincts, and one of them had very prominently displayed Ozzy Osbourne's mugshot in there. So, and he was wearing a St. Louis Blues sweater for the photo, because I never thought the Prince of Darkness would be in the blue and the yellow of all right, she's gone. I guess that's the end of the show. But would ever have been in the blue and yellow of a vintage Blues jersey. But there he was. So rest in peace, you icons of your respective forms. So, all right, let's do that. That's not quite what we want. All right. So we have a couple questions here regarding Haas. If Haas is still around. Melissa says, when are you guys going to have Haas on to talk about our team? It's a great question. And somebody else followed that up. I think it was Mr. Matney. Oh, my comments are all screwed up now. Sorry about that. Great question. When will Haas be on the program? I don't know if you all remember, but Haas has a little newborn. So we get Haas when we have the ability to get Haas. Haas says soon. Fred says Haas rules. We need to make a shirt like O'Doyle rules. But Haas rules. Hey, look who decided to come back to the show.
Did we move on?
Yeah.
Well, Greg, can I just say one thing going back to that? I'm not trying to make it. Listen, this is what I do. I like to put a positive spin on things. Remember, I think it was last summer, we were looking for things to do, and we were talking about how if we were to change the third quarter song, Thunderstruck, what would it be, right? And everybody was supposed to come back the next week and possibly, come up with their own ideas. I came up with an idea. I said, why don't we take a song and just remake it, kind of like Hank Williams Jr. did for Monday Night Football, right? And the song was a Black Sabbath song, and it was, all I can remember are the lyrics that I made up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember
War Pigs or Iron Man?
I
think it was War Pigs.
I think it was. I can't. Okay. Do you remember?
I remember, but I don't remember the lyrics.
Okay. Huskers gathered in our cornfield. Remember you were doing this
Ba-now.
Waiting for a chance to rebuild.
Ba-now.
Ah. Well, I thought I remembered the lyrics. Damn it.
I bet you they're in
That'll
a
come
file
back to me. That'll come back to me. But that was fun.
Jason says that Minnie has great hair, as does Greg. So,
as does Greg. Greg, you have great hair. No.
Thank you.
Uh-huh,
I am actually disappointed that I have this much hair, but that's a story for another day. I was shamed by Haas for a change. Said, I'm surprised, disappointed you didn't read my Hulk Hogan comment. So here it is. I once saw the female version of Hulk Hogan working as a parking lot attendant last year in Columbus, Ohio. 24-inch pythons.
Okay.
And question for Haas, scale of 1 to 10, Big 12 or Big 10 championship rather. Haas says 6.5 to 7. Now here's the thing. There's a lot of vagueness to this question by Living in Omaha, David Matney. Scale of 1 to 10, Big 10 championship. I can tell you this with complete certainty. 10. There will, in fact, be a Big 10 championship. That's all he has, like Big 10 championship. Yes or no? True or false?
You should know. Greg is a smartass.
Yeah. Mr. Matney also says, let's keep Thunderstruck rather than our corn pigs or war corn or whatever it might be.
I think we can come up with at least let's have a good song in between, like a Husker theme song.
I think Thunderstruck's a great one.
It is good. I don't think we should get rid of it, but we were talking about if we should. If we did. Okay. Gotcha.
You know, this is something that's a couple of weeks old, but I want to make sure that I find it so that I can be as outdated but accurate as possible.
Okay, what?
Because, Minnie, if you want to hit our starred comments, there is one in there about a certain Afroed gentleman.
This one? Nebraska Strong.
I can't read it.
The Big Red says, congrats, Kenny Bell, on being admitted into the Nebraska class of 2025 Hall of Fame.
I don't know if that's how he typed it. That's quite the bold reading of that comment.
I don't think so. Jeez. That's the PJ Fleck in me now. He rubbed off on me. He's very enthusiastic that way.
Let's not have PJ Fleck rubbing any Nebraska females because we don't need that type of negativity in our lives.
No, okay.
So yes, Kenny Bell is in fact one of 6 Huskers to be receiving the honor of the the Nebraska Football Hall of Fame. And this year's class includes offensive lineman Tom Welter from the 1980s, 1990s I-back Derek Brown, the late I-back Darren Diedrich from 2000-2007, place kicker and punter Brent Maher, and wide receiver Kenny Bell. Linebacker Bob Nelson selected as the veteran inductee, and UNO linebacker Tom Sutko is this year's state college representative. There's also an award for, I thought there was a designation for Johnny Rogers is receiving the introductory Nebraska Football Hall of Fame Legend Award, which I don't know. I feel like if you're in the hall, that's kind of makes you a legend right there. But
no, I think there's legendary status and there's regular Hall of Fame status.
Okay. That's what I did for thinking. Great question from Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast. How come the word groin is banned from the show, but it's okay to talk about PJ Fleck?
It's okay. It's Big 10 Media Week. That's why. I'm not going to be talking about him again until Minnesota, I promise.
All right.
I'll try not to anyways. I don't promise. Okay.
James Boardman says, thanks to Kenny Bell, there's a Wisconsin defensive back that's still drinking his lunch through a straw. Aaron Keene says Kenny cemented his place with that one vicious block. Let's see.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Vince says, you need to get with Polyjam, Minnie, for help with the corn pigs.
I do. Yes. I have some ideas on some Husker songs, Polyjam, if you want to reach out to me. Not that you need any ideas. You do great on your own. What?
Oh, no, I see this comment here about Paint It Black, and I always thought Paint It Black was a Rolling Stone song, so I'm learning that it's also a Black Sabbath song.
Okay.
I can learn things too.
We're all learning tonight. Everybody's learning.
Joe LaLeka says Crazy Train would be cool in that third quarter, after the third quarter song.
Yes.
Haas says, if I had to make a pick based on a bit of Kool-Aid and a lot of projection, I picked Nebraska versus Illinois in the Big Ten championship game.
I do like that.
If that's the case, we already know that Minnie's going to select Illinois because she thinks
I will not.
She said a couple weeks ago before the show, she said, I think Illinois is going to win it all. I want Illinois to win it all is what she said.
I didn't actually mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. And you're not allowed to repeat things I say in accident.
You know who I say I really want to win it all? Nebraska.
Yeah, me too. I just can't forget about Illinois. They're just making, they're a solid team. Let's just say that. I don't mean it like that, you guys. I don't mean it bad. And Nebraska's a solid team too. If we're talking about other teams in the Big Ten, I can't neglect Illinois. I know you want to, Greg.
I think, yeah. Did she switch her pick to Minnesota? She might at this point say Minnesota versus Illinois. No. I think she's changing teams on us here. It's like slow fade away from Nebraska to one of these other teams.
No such thing. No way.
Stephen Fromm says Big Ten championship, Oregon versus Ohio State. We'll see.
So I asked Dylan a question.
What's the penalty for Husker treason according to the constitution of the show?
This is not Husker treason.
It's Husker treason to choose Illinois.
I didn't choose Illinois.
You said I want them to win it all.
No, if we can't, okay. I should have made myself a lot clearer if you were going to put me in quotes like that. I thought we were just casually conversing.
You're like, I think Burt Bielema is the best coach in the Big Ten.
No, I said he's a good
Definitely
coach.
has the biggest presence, the biggest waistline, cast the biggest shadow.
He's a big guy. He is a big guy.
Fat sack of shit.
My gosh.
All right, what question did you ask Dylan?
Oh, yeah. So, everybody wants to talk about how he's doing with leadership, how he's doing with his wide receivers, we all know how he's doing with all that, how he's doing with Daniel Holgerson. But I just asked him, so are you still boxing? And he looked at me and he smiled and he said, yeah, I'm still boxing. And apparently there's some UFC fighter that grew up on the same island as him. And he called it out. He goes, because I'm Hawaiian, and he's Hawaiian. And I'm like, I know you're Hawaiian. We all know about your Polynesian bones. So I thought that was really cute that he called that out.
I'm pretty sure that Dylan was thinking, there are 4 people outside of my family who know that I was into boxing, And somehow this random person at Big Ten Media Days knows where's that restraining order and how quickly can it be amended to no closer than 20 feet.
That's not true.
All right. So we had, let's see. Kaylee says someone took all those Dylan crunch time stats to heart and jumped ship. Melissa said, I said she's flipping.
I am not. Oh my gosh.
Red says,
guys.
Greg, it's a slow heel turn. Watch out. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, says Minnie's considering entering the fan portal.
This is not true. You guys, just because
Someone's paying you, says Melissa.
I'm just telling you about what I saw and heard this week, that these are people. I know we want to think of them as monsters.
They're the enemy.
Under our bed late at night that we don't like. Okay, they're not. They're people. And yeah, they have a lot of pressure and they have a lot of problems and they just want to coach football. Bottom line.
Brad says Minnie needs to go to confession.
No, I don't.
Nebraska Strong says Minnie is in the fan transfer portal. Spangler is trying to help you write the song. Huskers gathered in the grasses, praying Raiola throws long passes. Head coach Matt Rhule may be a junction fending off Nebraska's final destruction. All right, that last part gets
That's disgusting. How dare you? No, we're not. Don't talk about Nebraska's destruction.
Vince Watson says she asked how much shorter do the chains need to be for your sliding abilities. Sorry, I couldn't. Kaylee says, just remember, she's the #1 Husker fan. Smiley face.
Oh my gosh. Kaylee.
It's great.
Dang. You guys, just keep in mind, okay? It's okay to not say negative things about other coaches yet. Okay?
Fred says in response to Kaylee, the best trick the devil ever pulled was getting the people to think he didn't exist. Which lines up there with Pitt that says, we're denying you communion, Minnie. We ain't playing. No Runzas. No Dorothy Lynch for you.
Really? This is not good.
Husker Chuck, super late tonight. All right, here's what you missed so far, Husker Chuck.
Don't ask. We're still friends. Let's just leave it at that.
Minnie went to Big Ten Media Days in Las Vegas this week. She's still in Las Vegas. She heard Matt Rhule. She heard Dylan Raiola. She couldn't hear Henry Letofsky or Deshaun Singleton because the way the room was set up, they had all 3 Nebraska players talking at the same time. It was very inefficient, period. Yeah. And she loves PJ Fleck, Kirk Ferentz, and all the other Big Ten coaches, and she still thinks that Illinois is going to win it all. So
Nebraska's going to win it all.
Jimmy McNutty wants to know if you asked Dylan out to the Sadie Hawkins dance.
No, but you know what was so cute? He got a text from Dane Key while he's away here, and Dane said, "Get my room ready for me. I'm going to be your new roommate." And he said, "All right, sounds good." So when he gets back to Lincoln, he has to get a room ready because Dane Key is moving in. And he's like, "I love that guy. He's going to be in my wedding one day." I thought that was really cute.
Well, if you ever get him to drop that restraining order, maybe that wedding will be to somebody on this show.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron tells you to get the soup at Runza.
Okay.
Pitt says the power of Johnston compels you. And you have a new coach crush, PJ Fleck.
I don't have a crush on PJ Fleck. What gave you that impression? Please, no.
Husker Chuck says, thanks for the summary. And Fred says, yeah, Minnie went heel on us. She's not a Husker anymore.
Yes, I am. Oh my gosh.
She does say that Nebraska's chances of making the college football playoffs on a scale of 1 to 10 are 9.5. So
I believe that with all my Husker heart.
All her Husker heart. And we don't have any more starred comments. Rostovsky says, oops, I was supposed to say you would get the soup at Runza. Yeah, she got a soup in July in Vegas. So I'm sure she would get a soup anywhere at any time.
I'm never going to live this down. Ever, ever, ever.
Hey, Pitt, I know you're keeping score. Minus 15 for Minnie, please. There's been a little too much Fleck talk tonight.
I should have asked him if I could rub his head. Never mind. That came out wrong.
That
Never
was one of
mind.
the questions.
Let's
Fred
move
says
on.
Minnie wants to rub PJ's head for luck.
Oh my gosh.
That was a full 2 minutes before you made your. Oh, she said it. It's on the internet now.
I'm not even make fun of him. Okay, can we just? Okay,
Oh,
it's been 2 hours. Let's go.
Oh my.
That came out wrong, obviously.
Obviously. You know what? I don't know. You two may be perfect for Monday nights because you're already sharing a brain.
I know.
If this happens, David, this may be the last time we see Minnie on the Five Heart Podcast. He says at the end of the show, Minnie's going to say, row your boat.
No, I'm not.
All right.
But he did say that. He did say that at the end. And I'm like, really? Come on. But he loves the things that he comes up with. He thinks he's so clever. He always comes out with like a 3-step process of what we're going to focus on this year. And I wrote everything down.
Rub the boat, says Roger Moore. And we've officially made Fred tired and sleepy and ready for bed. He says, you guys are wearing me out. Good job.
You're welcome.
All right. With that being said, it's bedtime for all of you. Tuck yourselves in. Make yourselves cozy. I'll tell you the same thing I tell my boys before bed. Go potty first. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We apologize that we missed you last week. I know I missed you. I was in a hotel room in Dallas, outside of Dallas. I guess technically Grapevine.
Greg.
What?
Come on. Let's end it. Good night.
I thanks. All of a sudden,
They know where you were. They know where you were. You told them the week before.
All of a sudden, you're trying to rush me through.
2 hours. Yeah.
Okay. All right, everybody, fine. Bye.
Don't.
For the co-host Minnie, I'm Greg. This is the Five Heart Podcast, reminding you each and every week that Five Heart is all the heart you need. Minnie.
You're so bad. Go Big Red.